Good day, everybody. This is Chris of the Ancient Scholar, and this is a video in response to a question that has been asked. Apparently, there are people that may be having some issues, kind of finding or figuring out what all the videos that I do are about, or kind of how they're sequenced. Is there any sort of order to them? And there actually is. And what I've done is I just want to take you through the basic Ancient Scholar website, since it's gotten pretty big, and I have somewhere around 400 videos or so. I think 350 of them are open to the public, and some of them are not, because they're very specific teaching videos for certain classes, and there's copyrighted information or potential copyright issues and whatnot. But most of it is open to the public. So what I'm going to do is I just kind of want to take you through how I have things kind of set up. So if you look, and this is actually just the main Ancient Scholar site on YouTube. This is the main site where you can interface with this, and this is actually in the public view. So this is what you should be seeing when you're actually looking at my site itself. And if you see here, what I do is I actually have some of the most popular playlists of videos kind of default right here on the homepage. So you can see some of the more popular videos include the mechanical ventilation. So basically what I do is I have several ventilator playlists, and the playlists start off very basic, and they work up to more advanced concepts. So right here, for example, this is the more basic playlist, which includes all of the introduction to mechanical ventilation videos, and you can see introduction to mechanical ventilation 1, ventilation 2, 3, 4, etc. And basically this is all about what is mechanical ventilation, why do we do mechanical ventilation, what are some of the risks, what are some of the benefits, and then I talk about what are the basics of mechanical ventilation. What are basic types? What are basic modes? What are some of the basic settings? And how would I actually set somebody up on on a ventilator? And then I move on to the next playlist, which is Introduction to Ventilator Management. So we've kind of built a foundation on initiating mechanical ventilation here. And then in this playlist, Introduction to Ventilator Management, we actually go into what we call Phase 2, where we talk about how do I manage somebody on a ventilator. Now that I have them on a ventilator, how do I manage them? How do I manage oxygenation issues? How do I manage ventilation issues? And how can I change my modes? And what do modes mean? What are the differences in modes? And what is PEEP, what is pressure support, and those kinds of things are all part of the Introduction to Ventilator Management playlist. And I also include discussions on liberation or weaning from the ventilator. And then down here I have Advanced Concepts of Mechanical Ventilation. This is the third, and this is where I kind of go back and I talk about some of these videos are kind of big picture videos in the first two, but what I do is I talk about some of the more specific concepts in the Advanced Concepts of Mechanical Ventilation playlist. I talk about, okay, how can I calculate my flow rate based on an I time setting. What is an I to E ratio? How do I calculate that? How does that relate to a percent I time setting? Ventilator graphics are also included in this playlist. Some of the basic graphics monitoring, what do they mean? And so this kind of fills in some of those advanced gaps. I also talk about advanced modes of mechanical ventilation. I talk about the high frequency oscillatory ventilation, APRV, or which is airway pressure release ventilation. So these are the three most popular playlists. I have them right on my homepage. Now if you want to actually look at all the playlists I have, what you can do is you can go here and you can click on videos, and that will bring you to this page here, and there's a little tab here that says uploads. Pull that down and go into playlists, and what that'll do is that will pull up all of the different playlists I have, starting at, whatever my favorites are: the humanities, respiratory pharmacology, the intro to patho assignments. This is actually a playlist that includes some of my assignments that I'm doing for some of my schoolwork, but I put some of that in here. Evidence is kind of a smaller playlist where I just kind of talk about some of the different pieces of literature literature or scientific studies that I find kind of interesting. I have, of course, the ventilator management playlists, the introduction to mechanical ventilation, ventilator management, and advanced concepts. I have a little bit of examinations here on some of the tests that I've taken and my take on them. How Unscholarly includes videos that are more maybe more personal in nature, not necessarily educational. Medical procedures. This actually has some ventilator videos on it as well. Some actually initiating ventilator management in a lab, chest tubes, those kinds of things. Applied mathematics is a playlist where I talk about basic math, algebra, those kinds of basic mathematical concepts and how to use them to solve real-world problems. Most of the problems in the applied maths playlist are going to be medical, either most of them are dosage calculation related questions. I have a basic chemistry playlist. I also have an advanced chemistry playlist if you want to look at things like quantum numbers, orbitals, the basic concepts behind quantum mechanics. And then I have the respiratory physics playlist, which covers a lot of the physical phenomena we see in respiratory therapy. And it also includes some videos on high frequency oscillatory ventilation. And it's just a general, even if you are in general physics, you may find these videos helpful because it does cover a lot of the general. Certainly the gas laws, certainly some fluid mechanics, fluid dynamics and fluid statics, and certainly a little bit of thermodynamics, kinetic molecular theory, and even some more advanced concepts like spectroscopy and using molecular orbital theory to make predictions about the properties of certain atoms and molecules, particularly when it comes to the oxygen molecule. So that's kind of how I have the site divided up. And again, if you just go to that main page, the most popular playlists, I have the most popular playlists there, and hopefully that helps you understand kind of what I meant or what some of the videos mean. Like if you're watching Introduction to Mechanical Ventilation video, how that would differ from if you were watching an Introduction to Ventilator Management video versus Advanced Concepts. There's slightly different themes for each of the playlists. Okay, so hopefully that helps clear up any questions you may have. As always, thanks for hanging in there, guys.